Hello, my nickname is Walker, and I just want to give like a quick tutorial or overview of the program. If you're new, it's really meant to be able to help you get started, because I myself, when I buy new softwares, I hate when I don't manage to use it right away. So this video is just quickly gonna go and mention over things, and in the end we're gonna go and talk a little bit about variables, which is generally done in scripting. I'll be jumping into my gallery experiment project by then, just to help explain it better, as well as it's easier to look at when explaining. So first you want to create a new project. I'm just gonna call it tutorial. It's a game type, visual novel, sound novel. Now I have no idea what a sound novel is. I'm not too sure about that. Though I have seen them, but I've never actually played them. But we're just gonna go with visual novel, because that's what I'm used to. You can have landscape and portrait and everything on how you want visual novel to be displayed, or you can give a custom size. I'm just gonna go with a landscape size, I guess. We want to have a title screen, and we want to have the buttons. It's generally always great to have that. I generally feel like it's important to have it, as why wouldn't you be able to load a save and so on? Is it just a 5 minutes or 10 minutes long, and so on? First off, I'd like to go to the title screen. I'm just gonna go quickly and preview. Let's take it down here. This is how the current title screen is. And new game, you get sent into the classroom, and which is basically says that it's quite easy. Now to take a look at the components, we're gonna go into screen 1. First, you always have the page break. The page break simply deletes all previous commands in the previous scene. It can also be used very simple if you have a branch button. Say you have 2 branch buttons. Then we have them set up with labels. I'm gonna take 2 labels. Now this branch button says yes. And to make it more clear for us, we're gonna call this label yes as well. Then we're gonna call this label no, and the other button no. You basically name the label, and you name what's gonna be written on the key. This one is going to be connected to the label no, meaning that if you press that button, you'll jump down to where the no label is planted or placed, while this one will take you down to yes. You can click the positioning tool in order to help you move around, and you can either drag and drop, like drag around the button. Say I want to place it on the board here, and then you click accept. Change background is kind of self-explanatory. And this one will also be placed around here. You can also use the X and Z or X and Y coordinates to help you set the key of the button. Now I really like to do this, as we can put them in the right area to each other so that they're on the same line, which is really useful. And see, I also noticed whenever you have a branch button and you do the positioning tool, you won't see the other buttons. The one at the bottom will see the button inside the positioning tool that is above it, meaning that if we put in a third button, this one will see yes and no. While if we hold on a second, just accept it. Well, if you go back to no, you can still see the yes button, but not the button that we just added. It is an easy tool to use. It's really nice to have a look at. But anyway, let's get back into the branch buttons. At each branch button, you want to have a page break as the first thing. This is simply because this clears the buttons that's already in use, so it removes the yes and no button, so that the story progresses. After the page break, we can add text saying, "Hello, I am glad you said yes." basic tutorial chat. It's no need to really make this more advanced than it needs to. And fine. I didn't want your help anyway. I don't know. It is no relation to each other. And then when you basically always hit stop. If you click yes without adding a stop at the bottom of the label, it's basically gonna go and just continue on the no label. Well, if you click the label, so it's important to have a stop button at the end of each label. I'm sorry, I'm fumbling a little bit with the words. And eventually you want to have a jump at the end of it. If it was a choice, that's gonna matter. Let's say then we have this one called a label at the bottom here called answer done. Just simple. Then this jump is gonna jump in scene 1 to answer done. And we do the exact same at the bottom of no. Jump to answer done. And then add some text. Might as well remove this one. Move the label up. You have now made a choice. Which is quite easy. Everything here is quite simple to use, as you can see. Now if you want to use a character, say we want to use it at the start, you just take a show image as well, but eventually before the text. Oh, why am I lagging a little bit? Show image. Take it no here. We don't really have much in here. If I just remember... Yes, there we have it. This program, TyranoBuilder, also contains an asset library, which provides you with backgrounds and characters that you can just grab while you're still in it making. You don't have to go and look for any background, which is very useful. You can look at the image, and if you click it, it's gonna download it and add it to your asset folder. Of course, you can import your own, which will probably be a little stressful, or at least the way I do it. Or you can just simply go on project or file and import, or when you actually click on the asset library. Oh, no. It was when you drag in the image. That's it. Anyway, we don't have any real characters there. This is all the characters that's in here, so I'm just gonna add in, let's see, her. Let's take her. We don't really have any name for her. We can come back to that later. I personally use my own images and display them as I progress. As you can see here, it's choose file or drag and drop. And now then, let's go back to asset library, characters. Characters. God damn it. Peachan. Curtain name Peachan already exists, okay. Then we go browse. Oh. God damn it, we just gotta import something then. Let's see, then we'll go to, I think it's H. And then we should have drawings somewhere, I believe. No, then it's on the G drive. Drawings. Then A, and I am really fond of this one, so hopefully it doesn't have a white background, but I'm not sure. And I think they also support the Photoshop file, so you can use a Photoshop file directly. Now I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just gonna stick with this image. As you can see, we can also use the positioning tool here, and we can scale her down, but that has to be done in the positioning tool here. You see position, width and height, which is basically the scale, and how long. Now, I've never really paid any much attention. I think this is to loading it in and when it's loading out. So it's not too much to worry about. You can also use to change background if you're changing room and are still on the same scene. It also changes room on every scene when you load into a new one in general, like loading from the title screen to the scene 1. You can have clickable areas as well, but that is like if you say you want it to be a clickable area. Say if they click on the image board here, it'll pop up an image. So let's just keep that one position tool here. And it's gonna take you to display image, show image, which we already have in place. So why not use a image button? Oh, it's freezing again. So if you click it, let's say you click it, we add in an image button. Just gonna use this chat box that is default. This one, this is the board zoomed in, let's say that. Or one of the papers there, it's zoomed in now as an image. And if you click on it, something's gonna happen. Now, if you leave it blank, I can't remember it entirely. You also have the option, if not, you will have a label you can jump back to and put it in labels. That is technically what I would have done. I'm not doing it now because we've already covered labels, but I can show it if you want. So anyway, while in progress, you click this image and it'll be on your full screen. And if you click it again, it's gonna go back to normal. In general, you could just use the show image button as well, but I don't think, I think for using the background, it's better to use a clickable area. An image button, which we already explained, show image and remove image is basically, say, afterwards, remove image, then the image that's closest to it will disappear. If I remember correctly, I'm not too sure. I can't remember. You have effects which kind of self-explanatory. I have not used Wait myself, and Quake is a shaking effect, like say an earthquake or something, or someone bulging into the room. It's also shown in the video on the Steam store page. You also have quite simple music, play sound effect, which plays a sound, play music. Now it's important that if you're going to play another music song or another melody, you have to stop music, because 2 songs can be playing at the same time. And the stop sound effect, if it's going in loop, then I'm not too sure. And movie, you basically play off a movie. I haven't used it myself, but that's basically how it's gonna work. Scripting with iScript is JavaScript. Remember that Java and JavaScript is something different. I messed it up and used Java instead of JavaScript in the beginning, though I have moved over to TyranoScript, which is its own script in its own. It's not really that similar to, it's more advanced than Python, but it does the job right and is meant for this engine, and it's new and I like it, despite I only know variables so far. So yeah, this is basically a quick overview. You also have your asset library here with the images you load in, music and everything. And you have scenes. Now remember, every time you leave a scene, you have to save. Because if you leave this scene to the title screen, it'll delete everything you have here. The same if you go back. If I go and remove the background and I move over to scene and click OK, I then go back and it still has the title image. So it's important to always save the project once you're done on one scene. You also have the character manager. You have Pichan, you have the different images there. You add a character name, and if you want to display their name in the chat, or their name to appear in the text name box, you're basically gonna want to go to this chat box and write hashtag Peach-chan, I believe she was called. Hello. And then just do hashtag blank if you want to go back to just having the character thinking, or don't use any more names for now. So let's go ahead and save that. And that's it for the character, and you have the game settings. You can change the title. It'll still be called the tutorial in the project folder, but you're never actually going to go into the Steam folders and look for it, unless you're like me and like to import the assets manually. You can adjust the device, entire screen, if for Android or something, change the width and change font color, and so on. Characters. Animate is probably for live 2D, which is a new feature. I'm not too sure as this has come in the latest update. Message window is position, opacity. Can you see through it? Can you not? Name field. Icon, that is if I remember correctly, it's at the end of in the bottom right corner, and you can use a custom image as the frame, like that one. I know I'm just gonna use the default, and I don't really understand how it freezes. And then it's of course the menu buttons. You can have background on the different screens. And then there's the buttons, which doesn't really look like that from what I can remember. And then you have other, which is menu button, which I'm not too sure about. But anyway, let's save again, just in case I edited something. And we're gonna bring this one down. Say we load a game. This is gonna be the loading screen. Very few, and this is apparently the menu key. And if we click new game, you can see the image appears. Of course, it's easier to work with full screen. This is one of the mistakes I did. Full screen, because I'm using it windowed mode now, you get the entire scene entirely shown, and it's much easier to plant the character. Then, as you can see, this is the traditional art kind of used in visual novels. You don't actually do legs in every visual novel. Some does, but not everything. As you could also see, it had a name there at the start. Now it's gone. And where did the buttons go? If we go to scene 1, it had stop. That is not supposed to be there. That is supposed to be no stop here. That is probably because it's in by default in the editor on scene 1. Stop, and at the end of every scene, you either have jump or stop as well. God damn it. Let's see. And we can also go back and look at the image. Now I'm going windowed, so it's a bit harder for me to see. Now if I just gonna go and assume from what I saw, this will probably do it. Just gonna save. I'm probably missing out barely a little. And new game. Yeah, barely. Almost perfect. And as you can see, oh, what? Branch button, label. Yes, there you go as well. I forgot to have a stop here. Actually, I had a stop there. The buttons are not appearing as they should. Yes, no. Okay, so we click yes. It's gonna jump to label. I have no idea why it's not going as it should. That is probably just my PC. Hello, this is a new game project. No. fine, I didn't want your help anyway. You have not made a choice, as you can see. Oh, if you now go and play it again, it's gonna be yes, and nothing happens. Why is that? Eres und mysteriatos. Label, yes. It instantly stops. Of course, that is why. It's really important with the positioning. We already saw that no is working, so if we now jump to into the game and we click yes, hey, glad you said yes. So anyway, that's the general idea. I can show more if wanted, but it's not really necessary. But I hope this comes into use for some of you and that it actually helps someone out. This is just a quick overview and intro. So yeah, I really hope it helps. Oh, actually I see I missed out on characters as well. I haven't really used it, but it's probably... yeah, it's supposed to use P-chan, and then we take positioning tool. So it's just to have them join the scene like this. Actually, yeah, I have actually used it. And then if they exit the scene. So it's so you don't need to use images for characters. So you can actually use images and remove image. Change expression is basically, is it P-chan? And then you choose between one of these. So she's now like that. And of course, exit scene makes them disappear from the scene. Anyways, hope this has been useful. Again, sorry that it's 22 minutes long. It's covering all the basics at least, and it's just for you to get writing now. It's probably relatively easy to learn in the beginning, but it's just for those who's asking questions like changing buttons on the scene or title screen. You can use image buttons, or so you can bring in your own keys, which is what I do in my project. So yeah, I hope this helped. Again, sorry for repeating this multiple times. Hope you enjoyed it, and